dive into the adrenaline of this season with a game where you can choose from 2 to 8 competitors and have the chance to fight for up to 325 times your investment. Greetings, everyone. I'm the narrator, and we're back for another week and a new episode, just like we do in the online community. I'm here to join in on this dynamic, so let's do another mock draft. This time, I plan to set some guidelines to diversify the options a bit, offering more examples for us to analyze, because anything can happen in the draft, and the possibilities are endless. However, there is one directive the team has been following closely to ensure they adopt the best strategy, which is to select the most qualified athlete available. Will the team walk away from this draft with players that make a difference, just like last year? The work done so far on the acquisitions seems to suggest they have the freedom to make their choices. At this point, it feels like we're in for a satisfying outcome, perhaps more surprising than many of us expect, given that we don't know who will be picked at the 22nd spot or the other selections, but that will make the experience much more engaging. Considering the success rate of the previous season was excellent, we must trust the process and watch who might fall, who is available, and who the team views as high on their list. So, it should be very interesting. As you know, we usually do 3 mock drafts, and today we're going to explore 5 rounds. I'll admit I'm a bit anxious about it, but I'm confident we have some great athletes available that you'll enjoy. Before we start, I want to express my gratitude to our community. We enjoy diving into mock drafts, and today we're going to examine 5 rounds. I must admit I'm a bit anxious about it, but I'm convinced we have some exciting athletes for consideration. Now, let's get to the point. Lights, camera, and action are ready. The team is about to experience a defining moment with this mock draft. The focus of this episode is the best available player, and we will stick to that. Now, let's kick off mock draft day. As you know, we're doing 3 mock drafts, B and C. Feel free to follow along and note who you'd select or maybe change. But most importantly, I want to know which of these mock drafts you prefer. One rule I must highlight is that we won't select certain players in any of these drafts. These athletes usually make my list, but this time we're focusing on going with the best available player, looking for those who might be ranked highly on the draft list, with a bit of diversity to keep things interesting as we approach the draft. Let's begin with mock draft day. In the first round, pick 20, the team is ready to select a wide receiver from Texas. This pick is exciting because it's clear the team hasn't completed its wide receiver core yet. There's a lot of speculation around the return of a key player, especially since he and another teammate are enjoying their time together in various places. We should consider that this athlete likely wants to stay with the team. Keenan Allen is back in his hometown, and he and Mike Williams have been enjoying their time at Disneyland and on the golf course, soaking up every moment in California. It's reasonable to imagine Keenan really wants to return to the Chargers if the circumstances are right. The expectation seems to be to wait until after the draft for a few reasons. First, if Keenan Allen comes back after the draft, it won't impact the Chargers regarding compensatory picks, thus preserving the structure the team values. Second, the flexibility in regard to potential players chosen is crucial. If the Chargers sign Keenan Allen and also select Matthew Golden, the big question will be whether there will be room on the roster for everyone. Matthew Golden is an exciting prospect in the draft that the Chargers should consider in the first round, alongside Emeka Egbuka and Luther Borden, who stand out as excellent wide receivers in this 22 range. This player generates a lot of excitement, and it's easy to see why. He has incredible speed. The Chargers need that speed, and he is among the top players in the draft to fulfill that requirement, having posted a remarkable 4.3-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. He brings much more than just speed, which is essential for a good receiver. The question is whether his production goes beyond that quickness, and the answer is yes. His hands are exceptional, he runs solid routes, and most importantly, he has the ability to play as an outside receiver. Even though he's not the tallest, standing around 6 feet tall, he has the ability to make plays like an X or Z receiver, attacking the ball in the air and making catches with surprising regularity. What really excites me about Matthew Golden for the Chargers is the combination of his 4.3 speed and Justin Herbert's strong arm. Plus, there's the presence of Vlad McCankey, who proved to be extremely fast last season. With these players on the field, Vlad McConkey as receiver 1 and Matthew Golden as a great receiver 2, things start to fall into place. The magic is about to happen, and it's viable to position Ladd in the slot. His performance was truly remarkable, and everyone recognizes that his speed is impressive. This became clear throughout last season. With these players together, Ladd McConkey as wide receiver 1 and Matthew Golden as an excellent wide receiver 2, everything starts to flow, and the magic happens. It's possible to safely put Ladd in the slot, have Mike Williams at the X position, and Matthew Golden stretch the field. This could be one of the first-round picks that really helps transform the offense. So, Matthew Golden, yes, he gets my approval and would be one of the most valuable additions in the draft to join Justin Herbert. Chargers fans have been waiting for a weapon to help stretch the field. We already have one with Ladd McConkey, but 2 would certainly make it easier to create more space for receivers to break free deep down the field. It makes sense to keep an eye on Matthew Golden and Justin Herbert in the second round. It's draft day, and in the second round, TreVeyon Henderson is still available in many mock drafts. We don't know if this will happen, but TreVeyon Henderson could very well be picked at the end of the first round, given his impressive running back quality and the depth of the position this season. We have Johnson from Iowa who could be in that range, and we've also seen Quentin Junkins and Cam Skattebo in the same context. If TreVeyon Henderson is available at 55, we're definitely taking that car to the podium and never looking back. That would represent incredible potential to be the running back, one of the future, but at the very least, a player who will be heavily involved in the 2025 offense. He brings amazing agility and speed. He's exceptional at finding space, whether inside or outside. If he can be taken to the outside, whether on reception plays or running, he has the ability to reach the end zone. This is the kind of player that stands out. His quickness is lethal, the big plays are impactful, and his hands are also highly effective in receiving. Add that to Najee Harris, and at the very least, we have a powerful combination for this season, with potential to take over as the running back one in the future. The pace being observed is deadly, and the major plays carry equal risk. The remarkable receiving abilities enhance this level of intensity. When paired with a skilled running back, a powerful combination is formed for the current season, with the possibility of this player stepping into the role of the main running back in the future. He has the potential to display speed and the ability to make significant plays, and he might excel if the narrative around him persists as it has. Looking ahead, the collaboration of running backs, akin to successful squads in the league, certainly appears feasible. The prospect being evaluated offers extraordinary versatility, showcasing top-tier talent. It would undoubtedly energize supporters if he were to still be available at a certain draft position, though how likely that is remains in question. Regardless, this draft stands out, and it's possible that some running backs might fall down the board due to the sheer volume of talent in that category this season. As we move into the third round, there's a player whom many enthusiasts would endorse if he remains on the board. He certainly fits the profile of a player who would be a valuable addition. The priority should be to choose the best player available, and if he is still there in the third round, as various evaluations suggest, targeting the edge defender from SMU would be a solid choice. At 6 feet 4 inches tall and nearly 300 pounds, he excels at shutting down the run and has the potential to be an effective pass rusher, although he will need to refine that skill. A season spent training with seasoned veterans will likely accelerate his growth. This is indeed the right season to bring in such talent. Collaborating with adept players will give him the mentorship and experience necessary to succeed. In this context, he could potentially evolve into a complementary edge rusher in the future, embodying significant promise in that capacity. There's a strong possibility he could transform into a dependable option once some of the current players have moved on. He is undoubtedly a prospect that will be highly esteemed if picked in the third round. It remains to be seen if some of these individuals will still be on the board. For instance, others might not be available at certain selections, and the same uncertainty surrounds the player from SMU. However, the strategy remains to select the strongest player accessible. Someone will inevitably drop, and he could be that individual. If an alternative choice is preferred, it should be pursued. As for the fourth round, a certain tight end is anticipated to be chosen. For anyone in search of an entertaining highlight reel at that position or a dynamic player to watch, this individual certainly deserves attention, particularly when considering the potential synergy with a star quarterback in the offense. This player is extraordinary. While he may not reach the standard set by other prominent tight ends, he distinguishes himself due to his impressive performance after making the catch. Once the ball is in his possession, he is tough to bring down, exhibiting great balance, fluidity, and dependable hands with very few drops. He is a game changer, and getting him the football will surely result in substantial yardage. The thought of him joining the team is quite enticing. If the choice is made to delay selecting a tight end for a bit longer, there are definitely other players being looked at in the forthcoming rounds. This player is certainly among those who could rise as a premier option at the position. The strategy so far indicates. Let's opt to delay the tight end selection a bit, as we have athletes who really impress us in rounds 3, 4, and 5. One player in particular stands out, and I believe he could become our primary tight end. Given how the team performed during the offseason, there's no rush for him to take the starting role this year. We'll integrate him gradually, evaluating his skills and weaknesses, ensuring that he has plenty of chances to stand out in his rookie season. The tight end position looks much more promising than it did last year, and this athlete brings some attractive potential in terms of performance, something we haven't fully utilized in a while. If anyone is looking for exciting tight end plays, this is the player who can deliver. So, in the 4th round, this athlete will need some support to improve his blocking techniques, but he shows great willingness to evolve in that area. The coaching staff has a history of developing talent, so I'm confident he'll show progress. Additionally, we already have a tight end who's efficient at blocking. Lastly, in the 5th round, the first player selected is a cornerback from a prestigious university. I'm really excited about this player in the 5th round. He's quite versatile. I'm especially curious to see how his skills will adapt to the outside position. He has a good athletic level and adequate ball skills, having accumulated 17 interceptions in his career, which is an impressive number in terms of performance. He really resembles a cornerback who could be selected mid-draft, don't you think? He shows production, has the expected traits, and is effective at the outside position. Looking at the performance of quarterbacks last season, I feel we should reconsider this position. The team has a real need for talent in this area, and we've seen the potential that emerges when young players with strong attributes join a competent coach. This cornerback, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and having clocked a 43-second 40-yard dash at the combine, also has a history as a wide receiver, capable of producing significant plays in terms of turnovers. He's not your typical 3rd, 4th, or 5th round athlete, but someone with a high ceiling in a scenario that favors his skills, establishing himself as an elite cornerback. Under the coach's guidance, this 2nd-round pick could really stand out for the team. Thus, Darian Porter, with his impressive measurements and performance, is an excellent addition at the cornerback position at this stage of the draft. Moving into the 3rd round, a player who has been gaining recognition at the running back position is R.J. Harvey from the University of Central Florida. This athlete really stands out, showing impressive numbers and scoring touchdowns regularly. With a total of 22 touchdowns and 1,800 yards accumulated last season, he's a true competitor, breaking tackles and creating space while running the ball. He has a special knack for making plays, proving to be an effective complement to what we already have on the team. If there's confidence that the starter will be a runner on first downs, combining with R.J. Harvey could lead to significant success. This duo has the potential to shine, similar to other successful partnerships we see. However, R.J. Harvey is a viable option in the 3rd round, as his collaboration with the starting back provides flexibility and all the desired characteristics for the position, depending on the situation and the game's progression. Harvey is gaining recognition on draft boards due to his consistent performance, and his skills have surprised many, just like other players this season. His ability to run the ball is remarkable, making him a strong athlete and a valuable offensive weapon. When combined with, a producer has a set of skills that attracts many, just like an athlete who stood out throughout this season, and his ability to carry the ball certainly shouldn't be underestimated. He's a highly qualified football player, a real offensive weapon, And when he integrates into what's already on the team, the situation becomes very promising. Some people mention this athlete as a candidate to be selected in the second round. But if the team can pick him in the third round, it will be a great acquisition at a considerable value. I'm confident that we'll be very happy with this choice in the fourth round. Part of this process is identifying value wherever it appears, regardless of the pressing need. A clear example of value found is an offensive lineman from a renowned institution. This athlete represents a great addition in the fourth round. However, his position right now is not a clear priority. For me, this player is the type who can play multiple roles. Most likely, most people will project him as a guard at the next level. However, if the team that practices a robust running game decides to use him, he will definitely stand out. His main attribute, according to many, is his contribution to the running game, which is extremely positive for the team, especially if he's shifted to the interior of the line. Additionally, he's a good option in case of uncertainty about another player's future with the team. It seems the organization has the financial flexibility to retain him and is pleased with his performance. He has the ability to play both inside and outside positions, and selecting a substitute like this tackle in the fourth round could be a very smart decision, as many believe he has much higher blocking potential in the running game than his predecessor can offer. With remarkable size, he brings the kind of robust structure the team is looking for to reinforce its offensive line, as well as providing significant value in this fourth round. Therefore, he could become a differentiator both in defense and in blocking for the running game. It's clear the team is focused on building a strong offensive line and has found an important asset in this selection, which could offer excellent value in the fourth round. This player has the potential to become a true game changer, acting as a defender in the interior running game or as a blocker. He represents the style of play the team desires for its offensive line. One could even say he could quickly compete for a left guard position. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Los Angeles Chargers. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The Los Angeles Chargers have found themselves at the center of a thrilling quarterback discussion, with Geno Smith emerging as a possible game-changer for the franchise. Known for his remarkable comeback story, Smith's journey through the NFL has been nothing short of extraordinary. Once a backup quarterback with the Chargers, the 33-year-old has turned heads with his resurgence as the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, earning a Pro Bowl selection and the prestigious Comeback Player of the Year award. Now, the Chargers are eagerly eyeing a potential reunion with the veteran signal caller, hoping to bolster their offensive game in the coming season. Smith's journey has been anything but predictable. After an underwhelming start to his NFL career with the New York Jets, he spent time as a backup with the Giants and Chargers before his meteoric rise in Seattle. His performance in 2022, leading the league in completion percentage and guiding the Seahawks to their first playoff berth in years, cemented his reputation as one of the league's most resilient quarterbacks. With an impressive 4,283 passing yards in the 2024 season and breaking Seahawks records, Smith's trajectory has left the Chargers considering what he could bring to their team in a new role. With Justin Herbert already an established star for the Chargers, the team's interest in Geno Smith may seem surprising at first. However, experts believe his experience and leadership qualities could provide invaluable support for Herbert, especially in crucial moments during the season. The Chargers' offense, which has been potent yet inconsistent, could benefit from Smith's veteran savvy and ability to manage games under pressure, qualities he showcased time and again in Seattle. A potential move could create an intriguing quarterback room, combining youth and experience to propel the team toward greater success. Furthermore, Smith's arrival could provide a much-needed boost to the Chargers' offensive depth. While Herbert remains the unquestioned starter, Smith's proven ability to step in and perform at a high level offers the Chargers a safety net in case of injury or any in-game adversity. His familiarity with the Chargers system and his success in a backup role make him a perfect candidate to step into a supporting role that could elevate the entire offense. As Geno Smith embarks on the next chapter of his career with the Las Vegas Raiders, the Chargers' excitement over the possibility of his return speaks volumes about the respect he's earned across the league. A reunion could represent a key piece in the puzzle that propels the Chargers back into Super Bowl contention. With his leadership and remarkable resilience, Smith could once again prove that his story isn't finished just yet. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Los Angeles Chargers, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.